Welcome back, everybody. We are ready here with Game 2 of the finals in the Alienware Awesome Cup 2 North American Qualifier 4. We did the number gag last time, so I don't think we can keep on doing that. However, we do have Boom versus Akio. Oz, what is that about?
That is right. We have Boom versus Akio for Game 2 of the finals of the North American Qualifier number 4. Without further ado, let's get straight into the picks and bans for Game 2 that is going to be played on Algion. Again, we have Akio taking on the first pick as they do ban out Ayla first and get their first pick as Scoop. And Boom is going to ban out Nibs. And their first two picks are going to be Swiggins and Vinny and Spike. Akio, on the other hand, with their final picks are going to be Clunk and Coco. And the final pick for Boom is going to be Skoldir, excuse me.
Skoldir.
He's going to school all of the children. That being said, Nada, give us a countdown. Let's get into Game 2 of the finals.
You got it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. What about that school, Oz? Do you want to elaborate on that, or you just leave it at that?
It's Skoldir's School of Fists. It's his own martial arts school that he has actually created the Nordic School of Martial Arts, where all you do is punch and throw things.
I see. Interesting. We'll see if that training has come up useful to him as his students as home. We're already looking at, like, that's actually a very hesitant play coming out of Akio. They know that they don't want to be making too many mistakes here, because if they lose this, they are going to be ending up in a second place in the qualifier, and Boom will take the victory. So I think we're going to see a bit more careful plays coming out of Akio.
Small engagement coming out right now as they're going to take out Chirp's anchor, but we're going to see these teams switch up a little bit as far as character selection goes, and it's going to be interesting to see. We're actually seeing Blah playing a Skoldir now as opposed to Falls playing Skoldir last game. So with that being said, as you said before, both of these teams are going to be playing a little bit conservatively because neither team can afford to lose a map right now. If Akio does lose this map, they are going to take second place, and if Boom manages to lose this map, they're going to lose a lot of momentum. Fowl's taking a lot of damage right now as Chirp is going to be dealing a lot of damage to him as well, and he's going to be forced to get back and potentially get back for some HP as he does manage to go and retreat back for base HP. A nice throw coming out from Blah there, throwing away Zoo from any damage that he could have dealt. Blah just poking out that turn in that top lane right now as the entirety of Team Akio is back on map.
Oh yeah, well, map presence is something that is super important here in Aeon. As we all know, the invis and the spawn times, and you really gotta be there. You know, have the mid area when the timer is about to take off. You go in, you let the Clunk get the invis, and you go ahead and you set up a gank. And if you happen to be on Boom, you should probably let the Skoldir have it. Get the nice throw, lock them down with the Swiggins, and then just finish the job with Vinny.
That so there's said, you know, I do want to point out that Vinny, we've seen a Vinny being played before. How do you think it's going to kind of play in and tie into Team Boom's comp this game?
Well, it's very direct damage, and that's something that goes very well with Swiggins. Swiggins actually hanging around there. Maybe he's trying to do something.
He's going to try and do something, but is it going to make anything out of it? As he just kind of threw his anchor out there and wasted the cooldown on it in effort to just poke out on Fowls.
Oh yeah, that's, you know, poke and Swiggins I don't think work as well. Swiggins is a very committed character. You go and you commit to the kill because you're going to be very out of position when you go in for those long hooks. And that's, you know, that's something in general I feel like the Boom comp lags is poke, really. Because they're fighting a Clunk, and versus a Clunk you want that poke. You really do.
You definitely need to keep his HP down, and, you know, I really want to see this engagement happen right now, where Akio goes into the top lane and kind of just assaults Boom for being out of position there. It seems like Zoo is going to manage to pick up Invis, and we're going to see the Solar Region Cloud start to be picked up for the Vinny. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see. Obviously, he's going to forfeit damage, but he's also going to even it out with his Solar at some point during the game.
Yeah, well, aim for that mid to late. You know, get the Solar up and really just dominate the later stages of the game. But for now, he's gonna have to be a bit more careful with what he's doing, and you know, positioning with Vinny is super important. You gotta make sure you're always that, you know, golden distance away from the enemy, so you can dash them. You'll never want to be in them or on top of them, unless you have the seahorse head. In which case, you want to try to do the no distance dash, where both of your dashes hit the exact same place.
And that's just going to be the vertical dash, as we've discussed a few casts ago. Being able to vertical dash with that double, dealing, I believe it's 980 damage in one dash.
Yeah, it's something in the likes there. It is absolutely an amazing amount of damage you can get out with one dash, if you do, however, get into that position where you can land both. It is kind of tricky, especially versus these characters where you have a Coco with Blaze, you have a Scoop Hammer and a Clunk with possibly a Snare Bite. So going in close versus these people is not, you know, the ideal situation for Vinny, especially if he's going to dash and, you know, not move away from them. So
and again, I mean, you do have that Vinny, on the other hand, who can drop that Silence Cloud and really prevent a lot of abilities from being used in a short period of time and continue to brawl in that cloud.
And that is true. If he sets up that nice big cloud with Silence and keep the fights in there, I don't doubt that they can really pull off some magic here. So, on top of that, I think that the Boom's comp really has a really great push potential. Something that's going to help after, you know, the big team fight in the Silence Cloud, because not only are you're going to get the kills off, but as soon as you have the kills, it's important to have the lanes cleared. Otherwise, you're not going to get the base. So the base, you get turret pushes and all that. You really need to time your kills with the clearing, and when your team has high clear potential, you're not so reliant on that as you would be otherwise.
We're actually going to see the entirety of both teams into this top lane right now, as Paolo's looking to grab some health real quick, and Blah's going to almost just narrowly misses a throw there on Zoo, and we're going to see them kind of retreat. We're just playing this rotation game at this point, where both teams are still measuring each other out, and both teams want to ensure that they're not going to be caught out and forfeit a team wipe or a double kill or a single kill early on. And it looks like we're going to see that engagement happen now, as Zoo is going to be able to pick up Chirp on that exchange with the Explode.
Oh yeah, first blood, 6.5 minutes in. It's pretty late for Akio, I'd say.
Well, as we said before, and as you pointed out earlier on, that both teams have to play very cautiously, because they can't really afford to give up kills like this and forfeit positioning.
That is true. Positioning plays a lot into this map. You have the 4 different invis areas, excluding the 2 in the jungle, which will open up later. So you have 4 available areas where you can hide in, and you know, if you can position yourself, making sure that you can keep someone as a cutoff in those areas, I mean, you're gonna be able to have just a whole lot of presence on this map. Something that's also important, we also mentioned, is, you know, this map is very position based. That is what we're getting at here.
We're going to see Zoo just narrowly miss that explode right there. Blah trying to get that throw up, but unfortunately doesn't. Fouls landing the nice ball. Chirp and Blah going to be forced to get back, as well as the entirety of Team Akio, who is going to rotate into his bottom lane and see if they can make anything of it. The nice ball hitting Chirp on that one. Paolo cannot actually engage with that, and Zoo is going to pick up Invis, but only after being picked up with and a nice explode coming out, and that is going to be another kill on Paolo. And it seems that the 2-0 lead has kind of gone in favor of Team Akio at this point.
They're really getting back at it. Something I wanted to get at as well, like how positioning is important. However, being out of position is also very punishing on this map, because not only do you gain a whole bunch for being in the right position, of course, but out of position in this map is so much more dangerous than out of position in, say, Sirona or Rivet, because there you always have the way out. But here, this map is made in such, you have tight corridors, you have the jungle that is sort of its own little locked in place, and you're not gonna have an easy time getting out if you're caught off guard. So you really got to be careful. That is, you know,
it is Ogyan, and I kind of think what you're looking for is that it's a very condensed map compared to Sirona Rivet, where there's a lot of mobility on all factors and all sides with any character, basically. You know, you compare that to Ogyan, there are a lot of corners, a lot of ledges, a bunch of the creep zones, a bunch of jungle areas, and it kind of changes up the momentum and style of play compared to Rivet or Serona.
Well, yeah, it does. It definitely does. I mean, things like Scoldier throws become so much more dangerous.
And we're going to see that explode come out right now as Zoo manages to land that explode. And and You Must Chirp is now going to escape with 1 bar left. And it looks like Blah is going to be staying and teleporting out, picking up some health on there. And Akio is kind of cleared up this map a little bit and progressed to push in and satisfy their push requirements to be able to take a first turret. And it looks like Falls may be caught out here as he's going to be punched. He is going to be taken out as Chirp is going to be picking up the kill on him. We're going to see Chirp and Blah looking for the kill on Zoo and Chun right now as Paulo is going to battle it out up there with them. The nice throw coming out. Zoo is actually going to narrowly avoid the spike dive, but be caught out by that anchor, but now just bites it and gets away with it as the anchor is going to be wasted once again. And Chirp is now going to be counterattacked right now and picked up by Chun and Zoo. That is going to be a nice counterattack coming out from them, making the best out of a seemingly bad situation. The throw coming out. Zoo is going to be dealt a lot of damage right now. He might be looking for the explode right now if Chun and Fowls can help him out, but he's going to be looking to actually clear it up as Fowls is looking to just deal a little bit of damage and secure safety for his team.
Yeah, see, what we saw, I think, the most important here was the double snare coming out of Scoop and Clunk, sort of keeping the constant lockdown, allowing these explodes to hit. You can see, you hit the bite, you go in, you hit the hammer.
And Blah's in a really bad spot right now as he's going to actually get picked up by Zoo. I'm not sure if the explode hit Paolo or not. I don't believe so.
Well, no, he did not. He seems to be on full HP, so that's not, you know, he lives to take an explode another day. However, I want to sort of, you know, I don't know, talk about how Scoop is actually building his hammer for cooldown to begin with rather than damage. And I have a suspicion that he might be going for that extra snare rather than the speedometer.
Oh, I actually agree with you. Apollo's taking a lot of damage right now as he's going to get bursted down by the entirety of Akio. A nice explode coming out on Zoo's part there.
We just saw it right there, how efficient the hammer is at keeping people in place, and then just allow Clunk to get that extra snare bite for that that's 0.6, yeah, 0.6 seconds extra, just to make sure that extra quick explode lands off, because lots of explode, add in, you know, lots of explode damage, lots of snare, and then you reduce the charge time. I mean, that is a surefire way to just get the explodes to hit.
We're going to see the engagement come out right now with Blah is going to be forced to get back up there, and Chun is kind of protecting Zoo down there, but if on bottom right there we see Fowls and Chirp kind of duking it out. Paolo getting the nice push right here. Zoo acting as a barrier for Chun, and Chirp is going to be looking into the fray right now as he's going to be attacking Zoo, and a nice burst coming out. They may be able to pick up, they are going to pick up the Clunk, but not before taking out a lot of damage as the Clunk gets a lot of damage off in a very short amount of time by just launching his explode, knowing that he's going to go down, and that is how you play a Clunk. If you know that you're going to go down, you rock that explode. You deal as much damage as you can to anybody in that area.
You go, girl. You're absolutely right. And with the quick explode, they have no chance of seeing it coming. It's gonna blow up so fast. It's just, that is the advantage of quick explode. Not only do you get the explodes off extremely fast, you also only need one stage of snare bite, as you'll get the same snare to explode charge ratio as if you had 2 snare stages. Add that, you know, to the equation where Scoop has a snare hammer, and all of a sudden you're almost guaranteed an explode hit.
And Cell actually coming out on that Clunk.
Oh yeah, that's going to be important for the push. Like we mentioned that Boom has a great push comp, and that's something, you know, Akio, they're going to have to make up for that by getting Clunk and his AA like really high in, because Scoldier's presence at the turret is scary. Swiggin's DPS and Vinny's DPS and presence is going to make it really hard to defend the push from them. You know, add the Silence Cloud to that, and basically impossible to shut down effectively shut down a push from Boom. Sorry. So Akio, they're gonna have to go this sort of pokey route where they, you know, spam the hammer and get the AA hits in on the turrets to sort of, you know, get the poke in. Turret damage is permanent. We all know this. We can go over it a million times. It never gets outdated. It is so important to do, and that's what their combat actually allows for.
And how do you think that Baby Curry Mammoth is kind of going to play into things here?
Well, you have the cooldown hammer, and it's basically going to be, because they're smart people. They know what's going on. The snare is what's getting them, and they can reduce that significantly by just, getting rid of it.
And a lot of damage right now. Blah's taking a lot of damage, and it looks like Chun is going to get picked up by the turret after a throw from Blah. Blah may be able to escape right now. And Blah is going to escape.
Nice. That is how you juke around. Make sure they're too scared to go get you, and you just go what you normally do. Is very good. Alright, so
Falls and Zoo into this bottom lane right here as Chirp, Paolo, and Blah looking. Whoa, that was an interesting hook there. But the actual Explode is actually going to pick up Paolo on the exchange right there as Chirp and Blah are looking to secure a kill on Zoo. Zoo missing the bite as Blah and Chirp avoid it, and that is going to be a 2-for-1 situation. That should be this first turret, actually. And another throw coming out. Chun is taking a lot of damage. Chun is going to get caught there, and he may be able to get taken out. Blah able to pick up the kill on Chun with the assist from Chirp.
That is risky plays. Like, did you see that? How low he was? It's just really risky. Was that a turret? That was a turret, yes.
No, it's actually still on map. It's not gone just yet.
Oh wow.
Just
that
now
is
it's gone. There we go.
So low. Even the minimap is confused.
And actually, we're going to see some regen coming out on this Clunk now. That regen bite. How do you think that's going to play into things?
Regen bite and regen with a piggy bank. I'm not sure if I like that, to be honest. That is too much regen and too little actual health.
And actually, Zoo is going to get hit with a lot of damage right now. Drops the Silence Cloud from Paolo. Chirp is going to be able to pick up Zoo from the top lane.
That is wicked. That's all I have to say about that. That anchor, that was wicked.
And we're going to see Boom kind of hang out in this top area right now. Really secure these choke points as the bottom turret for Team Akio is going down at a very fast rate. And that is going to be the bottom turret for Team Akio 2-0 as far as turrets go in favor of Team Boom. And we've kind of seen the tide shifting at this point. Akio had a 6-1 lead, and a nice engagement coming out right now as Chirp is going to be able to pick up fouls. The Silence Cloud is going to be dropped, forcing Chun to retreat back. But as I was saying before, we've seen the tides change. A 6-1 kill lead turned into an 8-6.
That is, that's quite the rebound. And Swiggins now with max AA damage, and Pool Boy, oh wow, I don't even. Oh god, that's gonna hurt. You go in with a Vinny in that, and you're gonna be able to tear apart at least Coco. And now that Clunk can't get any pills, I'm afraid we're gonna have to see that maybe Clunk even is going to get the one shot or 1-2 womboed. I'm not sure how to explain this, but he's gonna go down fast because no pills against such a bursty combo. That's dangerous stuff.
Well, I know for a fact that Chirp is going to be looking for Zoo right now, and he is going to be looking for the Zoo, and Zoo knows he's going down, lands the Explode, and Paolo's going to go down on the exchange. A 2-for-1 exchange in a seemingly bad situation. Another excellent play by Zoo, knowing he's going down, but being able to deal an immense amount of damage to all members of Team Boom and really secure 2 kills for Akio.
Yep. I hate it when you steal what I want to say. You're making my job hard, Oz. Being right and all that. You're being right. No, but just the turrets now should go down, because they're gonna be needing that solar. They're gonna be needing that turret. Wow.
And there we saw how quickly, and I said it before, Chun is now going to be on the run from Swiggins, as Swiggins is going to be continuing to hunt him down. He could have potentially picked up a kill if he ran forward, but he decided to play it safe, didn't know where the Clunk was, and that was them playing a little bit cautious. But you were speaking about Pool Boy with max AA, being able to burst down someone so quickly.
I was, and that is based on the fact that everyone has regen on Akio and no one has pills. That is just not that's not a good cocktail for Akio at all. They really need to see that this burst potential is too high to handle, and they need to get those pills. They really need it. I think that's what's keeping them back right now, because they can really not face the enemy without the fear of getting, wombo combo down, because they have so much instant applied damage and it's gonna go like we saw that right there. It's gonna go through the turret. So if Swiggins gets in there first, actually tags you, it doesn't matter if you're behind the turret because Vinny's gonna come back. He's gonna dive straight into that turret. And you're gonna lose 700 HP. And without pills, that's a lot of HP.
It's just very difficult to combat. So that's what we're getting at. And Swiggins is a very strong character in itself. So.
You add that with more strong notes, and you get a strong team. That is it.
And I think Blah's going to be looking for a throw right now as Swiggin goes in on Chun, unable to make anything of it as his anchor is taken out. But I think the deciding factor in this is going to be whether or not Blah lands his throws for these next two turrets.
I'd actually argue that it depends on whether or not Swiggins hits his things.
And actually, Paolo's going to pick up fouls there. Fouls making the small error of using Blaze and picking up the invisibility orb, maybe just looking to burn it so that Team Boom didn't pick it up, but is actually going to get picked up in the process by the engagement from Blah's throw.
I guess we were both wrong then. Depended on the Vinny.
For securing the kill, more likely.
Yes, I know what you were on about. We're all about the initiation and who gets the see, because if Skoldier lands a throw on multiple people, he's gonna be doing damage to multiple people, whereas Swiggins only will be doing, you know, the hook damage to one, and then the AA damage, of course, will apply. You know, is that actually single target? I'm kind of in doubt here.
That is single target for the Swiggins.
Oh yeah,
and
for the
Paolo, and Zoo's gonna pick up Blah on the bottom. Paolo picks up fouls on top, and Chirp is looking up top for Zoo as Paolo has his dash up in a few seconds. Chirp is gonna be running. Paolo's gonna be able to steal invis, and Chirp is actually gonna be looking for Zoo as Paolo lands his dash on him. Zoo taking a lot of damage. Zoo may be going down, but they have to be very careful if they want to continue to pick him up. And we're looking at this damage being dealt on bottom as Chirp and Paolo are gonna be battling it out. As Chun is the only person on map right now, he's going to get body blocked down here. It's going to happen. Chirp looking for the body blocks. He's going to be dealing a lot of damage. Chirp is going to be taken down by Chun. Paolo looking to secure a kill and avenge him. And Paolo decides to go up top instead of looking for the dash and play it safe.
Oh man, that was dangerous. That was really dangerous, but it paid off. It paid off, and that's the important part. And that's what they need right now in Akio. They really need to take those risks because otherwise, they're not going to move up, and they're not going to move the game in their favor because their comp really requires them to be on top, really have those gank areas, and you know, mostly have the droid advantage because they can't really pull off a full push without having the droids. Not with the way they've built so far.
Look how much regen Zoo actually has, stacking up his bites and the regular regen. It's just. He just has to survive these bursts, and I think he'll be able to actually really do a lot of damage with his AA.
It's a happy time because
Looking for the bite right now, and the explode hitting Blah behind the turret, and that is going to be another kill coming out in favor of Akio. Akio has kind of also shifted the tide a little bit in their favor, being able to deal a lot of this damage right now, and that is going to be the first turret coming down in favor of Team Akio as they're looking to secure a win and go to Game 3.
Oh. That is actually that's actually quite oh I don't even know, possible. That's the word. I can words. Don't blame me. I word.
It's a very real possibility with this comp as Chirp is going to get caught out right now. Paolo dropping that cloud in an effort to save Chirp. Chirp is going to be on the run right now with half health right now as Zoo is brought down to half health and Fouls as well around half.
I mean, the whole comp thing is sometimes you'll see a comp that's just not fit to fight the opposing comp, but right now you have two very well constructed teams that you know have their plus and pluses and minuses, but they overall balance out to each other very well, and there's no real decisive, oh, you are going to get hard countered super hard. It's actually, you know, comp wise very even.
Well, we're looking at these two teams, and we see a lot of burst coming from both of them. The capability is absolutely there. The Clunk Zoo has been making great plays this game, knowing that he's going to go down. He'll be able to explode and deal a lot of damage in an AoE and really just establish the fact that you're going to kill me, but I'm going to deal a lot of damage to everybody. And my team is going to be right here for you guys, so I hope you guys are ready.
Oh yeah, well, that is, the Clunk manifest is do damage. If you die in the process, then God be with you. It is like just so much damage.
Silence coming out there. We're going to be looking for a huge engagement right now as Chun is going to get thrown. Paolo is going to be actually on the run from Zoo and Fouls as Zoo on the counterattack with Fouls. But Chun looks like he's going to get picked up by Chirp. Chirp needs to be very careful right now. Blah throwing this Clunk up top. And Zoo may be going down right now to Clunk if his regen, and the regen will not save him. But the Explode coming out, and that is going to be a wipe for Team Boom. They can progress into the final stages of this game if they push these turrets. Chirp is going to be clearing the bottom, and Blah is going to be clearing this top, hopefully being able to get a turret down in the process.
They should be getting a turret down right now. With a Scoldier and a Swiggins, there is no way this turret is going to stand away. They're practically in the way for what they want to go, and they're ready to do whatever it takes to pull it down. You can see that they're just going for it, even though there's no droids yet. Just go for it, get the damage in, and, you know, I don't think this turret has any more to say.
No, I'm not too sure about that either. But that turret is down to about half a bar, and the hammer is going to pick up Blah on the escape. A nice toss by Chun, being able to pick up a kill on that exchange. Chirp's stolen Viz. He's going to burn it, actually, and just get back and get some HP at this point. See what upgrades he picks up.
Is this a great comeback we're waiting for? You know, the further we get into the games, the more these kills, one-offs actually mean. And you can see the turret is just slowly decaying into nothingness as the droids are pounding it to pieces.
The droids did go to Pound Town on that turret.
I
don't know, everybody's making comments about the Pound Town a few weeks ago. I figured I'd bring it back.
Bringing back the Pound Town, eh?
The hype train has stopped off at Pound Town at Turret 1.
Next stop, Pound Town.
Next stop, Pound Town.
You know, you always complain to me when there's bad memes.
We're actually going to see Fouls kind of retreat back now, but, you know, these engagements that are happening are, you know, we're seeing this huge burst come out from one team, and the other team is counterattacking so well that these engagements are very even throughout them. No matter how much damage is being dealt, the counterattacks are making up for that.
Yeah, you're right, and something I kind of I don't want to see it, but I want to make sure that happens is when you go in with that silence cloud, that you make sure your team is not going in with you, but coming from another angle. That is usually how you get the most out of a silence cloud, by not all forcing in from one direction, because in that case you can sort of charge up your abilities, you can Clunk, you can go out of cloud, charge up Explode, and wait for them to run in. But if you sort of cut back and you come in from another angle, you're going to take them by complete.
And it actually looks like a huge team fight's going on right now as Zoo is going to go down. Paolo and Chirp are going to be on the run right now as Fouls is trying to hunt them down, but Blah is looking to pick up Chun on this exchange. Change to Fouls.
Oh.
And Fouls is going to get picked up by Paolo. Paolo's going to be on the run right now, but Chirp, looking for the kill, is actually going to land the throw. Blah's going to land the throw. That's going to be a secured kill on Chun. That is the second team wipe. They should be progressing to pick up that top turret right now as we see Swiggins up top doing so. And that bottom turret's gone. Then Blah's looking to get into this final stage of this game, and they're going to be starting their assault on the core as Blah begins to just throw his fists into it. His dojo, so we say.
Yes, all he learned in school.
Look at that core, though. Look at how quickly it's going down.
I don't see a core.
I don't see if there's nothing that can be done at this point.
What core?
And that is going to be the game as Team Boom picks up Game 2 and the victory in North American Qualifier number 4.
Oh wow! Congratulations. Boom has taken quite a few qualifiers now.
Yes, they have taken a bunch of qualifiers. We've seen them almost every week. We've seen Akio and Boom before. We've seen how these teams compete. We've seen what they can do against each other. Unfortunately for Akio, Team Boom did overpower them. We saw the Tide's battle change quite a bit during that. We saw those kills, a 6-1 kill difference turned into an 8-6 difference at, I believe, the midpoint in the game, and ending off at 18-13. Looking at the solar differences, around 700 between Coco and Scoop compared to the 2,900 average that the entirety of Team Boom had that game. How could that game have gone any differently, Nada?
Well, pills. That would have, in my opinion, that would have changed a lot of things, because that would have made them more resilient to that quick burst in comp, especially for Clunk. Have that Clunk go ahead and take the first two you know, burst attacks, especially from the Swiggins. If you can latch on, get the Swiggins to latch on Clunk with the pills, you can actually straight ahead just go ahead and attack Swiggins with all your remaining attacks, because Clunk is going to be maybe at like 3rd HP, but now you have 2 other players that are ready to go in, get that burst done. You know, it might not look like it, but Scoop has a bunch of explode damage on his binding, as well as the charge up damage. The triple banner of, yeah, the triple banner of the triple scoop. Gotta get that right. I just called it the triple banner. But you can get so much damage out of that, and if you have a charged up explode, you can get that in as well. You can really punish Swiggins, provided that you have enough HP.
You know, that being said, and congratulations to Team Boom for taking on North American Qualifier number 4, and we will be back next week. But before we do depart, a few quick messages from our sponsors. A huge shout out to Alienware for providing the alphas for this tournament. Another huge shout out to Ronimo. We are powered by ES Champ and the production team ES Champ. A huge shout out to them. That being said, we will see you guys. What am I forgetting?
The Gosu Gamers.
No, I didn't. Powered by Gosu Gamers.
No, you said ES Champ. You boop.
No, I didn't. I know I didn't. I said powered by Gosu Gamers, and the production team is ES Champ.
Nonetheless, we are also powered by Gosu Gamers.
That being said, we will see you guys next week for European Qualifier number 5.
High five.